Hi there.
Hello.
And I'm joined today by the lovely Anita Sarkeesian.
Hi. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome to CES. How's your CES 2017 going so far?
It's better than I thought.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the first time I've been here.
Oh, it's your first CES.
Yeah, it's my first CES.
Cool. Well, you've got lots of things to see here. But today we'll be talking about, of course, games.
Yeah.
And lots of things to do with games. And yes, we'll get to that. But first, Anita, could you give a quick, brief introduction of yourself to our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Anita Sarkeesian. I run a nonprofit called Feminist Frequency. We look at the way women are represented in popular culture. We're known mostly for our series called Tropes versus Women in Video Games, looking specifically at some harmful representations of women in gaming. And we also do a lot of work to help combat online harassment.
Your background is in academia.
Sort of.
Sort of?
Yes. I do. I did start in academia. I have a master's degree, and I actually started Feminist Frequency while I was in grad school because I was so disillusioned with how alienating feminist theory was. Like, why would you'd have to be formally trained and have the privilege and the money to be able to learn how to read these words that make no sense to normal people. So I really wanted to create something that could help bring feminism and feminist theory to a wider audience, and using the lens of popular culture is something that we can all connect with and talk about, and it's worked so far.
So good so far.
Yeah.
You're not militantly trying to stop games being made.
No.
You're trying to start a dialogue of the creative processes and the thoughts.
Our major tagline is be critical of the media you love, because, often women who talk critically about media get accused of not being a real geek girl or not being a real gamer or whatever that means. And the thing is, I came to this as a fan and as someone who loves gaming and loves media. So I just want it to be better for everyone and much more inclusive. And this is also a bigger issue than just games, right? This is about women's ability to interact and engage in the world, right? To engage online, to be able to fully participate in our online life. And so this is, while I want games to be better, because I think the media works to reinforce and reflect our society for better or for worse, it's also a larger issue about the way that women and marginalized folks are treated in the world.
And now, like we were talking, these games are now more popular, ever increasingly more popular, decade by decade. And do you think, because of that, given that bigger impact on society, does that change the responsibilities of game makers? Where do you think, the responsibility lies? Is it us as a society? Do you think games makers should be...
I mean, yes, I do. I think that developers and publishers need to take responsibility for the work they're putting in the world. I think that they need to understand that the media that they create is not in a vacuum, that it exists in a world that reinforces positive or negative things, right? Yeah. The representations are not just a solo, fun entertainment thing. We learn and we engage and we learn about the world and different people through media. And so understanding that the stories that you tell do have an impact, right? If your military shooter is white dudes shooting a bunch of brown dudes in the world, that sends a message that is kind of racist, right? And
not even factually correct.
Yeah, so I think that it is absolutely important. But I also, the other thing with developers and publishers is understanding that, what are they encouraging their audiences? What kind of behaviors are they encouraging through the way that they do their marketing and that sort of thing. So one of the things that came up around Gamergate and these large-scale harassment campaigns is, why didn't the publishers and developers speak up? Because it was their audiences that were attacking us, right? And so some of it is also what's in the games, but also who are they marketing to? Who are their communities? What kinds of environments do they want to create online?
And so let's go back to CES. Have you seen anything yet?
Have I seen anything yet?
Did you manage to venture beyond Engadget's stand? How deep have you gone?
I think I've made a loop through this main building.
Right. So you've just been stood outside one of those giant OLED TVs, just staring into them.
Man, there's some cool TVs here.
I've really
That's
got
what I've been geeking out on.
I've really got to just stop drinking and save that money up and buy a TV or something.
I think so.
Yeah, they're kind of gorgeous.
Cool.
And well, you should definitely check out some of the deeper parts, some of the tinier parts. That's where the silliest stuff is. There's plenty of VR experiences.
Perfect.
Some very intriguing ones. But that's it for us. We'll be back. Anita will be joining me again with other gamers for us to do a new Engadget gaming challenge. No dancing this time, I'm afraid, but a delightfully cute Nintendo console will be making an appearance. Perfect. So join us then. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.